Now, someone who knows business and politics very well, Steve Forbes, chairman of Forbes Media. Steve, it is great to see you.
Good to be with you, Deirdre.
So when Donald Trump talks about riots, I mean, an RNC spokesperson said, well, he really didn't mean physical riots. He meant, it's a figurative expression of speech. What do you think?
Well, one, it's nice to see the Republican establishment trying to spin for Donald Trump. And I think Trump made a mistake making that statement. Everyone knows that the tempers are going to be very raw if it looks like he got denied the nomination unfairly. But that doesn't mean you have to say that. Statesmen are not supposed to say those things. So,
meaning if he were more presidential, he would not have said there are going to be riots in the street.
His people behind the scenes could say, you know, you've got a lot of people here who are going to be very upset if he's seen as being stolen, the nomination stolen from him. And he's right. If he's got 1,100 delegates coming into Cleveland, he will get the nomination. The question is, will he get the 1,100? And certainly he's well on his way there now.
Okay, but when you say 1,100...
Out of 1,237.
Exactly.
If he's that close, if he's far ahead in the popular vote, if he's been winning primaries, then he's going to be very hard to deny. If the other candidates have not been winning primaries and Trump still is a little bit short, he's going to get the nomination.
So, Steve,
the only way you can beat him is if you get
majority. Then you are saying he doesn't technically need that 1,237. He has the 1,100. He's far ahead of the other candidates. It's good enough.
If he wins a couple of big states like California, Pennsylvania, and he has more popular votes than anyone else, going to be very, very hard to deny him the nomination.
Okay, a GOP official told Neil Cavuto earlier today that the party chooses the nominee, not the voters. Here's that comment. I want to get your thoughts.
Republican voters go out and elect delegates in the same way that you elect a member of Congress or an elector to the Electoral College. It's a representative democracy, and those delegates then go to the convention to cast their ballot on behalf of those voters. In some states, they're bound, meaning if a candidate gets the vote of that state, then they must cast their ballot for that candidate through the first round or the second round. Sometimes they become what they would call unbound after the first delegate.
So he's essentially explaining to the voters, it seems like, well, you count, but just a teeny bit less than the system.
He's talking like this is back in the days of the bosses before we had television, when you had smoke-filled rooms. Smoke-filled rooms are illegal now. You can't smoke in hotels anymore, so you can't do it that way. And so what you're seeing is sort of equivalent whistling past the graveyard. And so the key thing, if you want to stop Donald Trump, you have to start winning primaries. And one of the things that I think Ted Cruz is waking up to, he's got to put real substantive, positive proposals out there, like a flat tax, lead with that, and start debating Donald Trump on issues like trade. 45% tariff, that's a 45% sales tax. Explain that. Have ads say, do you want to pay thousands of dollars more a year in terms of what you buy?
And Cruz, love him or hate him, is obviously 100% qualified to, I mean, he's an excellent debater.
He's an excellent debater, and I think there's disappointment that debate Monday night in Utah has been canceled. But if Cruz does well in Arizona and Utah, which comes on Tuesday, then I think you're going to see debates again, especially if it looks like Cruz could beat Trump.
Even though Donald Trump has said, I've had enough of the debates. Let me say, as far as
the audience have not had enough.
No, the people want to hear more.
Voters, especially now, want to hear more.
And to your point about substantive issues, we've sort of been in a personality contest for a little bit, and now we want to hear a little bit more.